All right, so we'll start in a comfortable seat, and we're going to place your hands on your body this evening. So placing the left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And take a moment to close your eyes and start to consciously soften the muscles of your face, as if you're washing your awareness across the top of the head and down the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks and the jaw. Visualize this wave of relaxation across the face, so that you can release any tension from the brow, sides of the eyes, the cheeks and the jaw. Allow your lips to part a little bit so the jaw feels a further softening. And begin to land your awareness into your hands, noticing that contact of your hands on the body. Take a moment to notice the ebb and flow of your breath as you find it. Noticing the rise of your inhale and the fall of your exhale. And now observe any thoughts that are racing through your head at this moment. Maybe your head's feeling a little busy at this moment. And you visualize the headspace as this clear, open sky, holding space for all of the thoughts that are coming and going. Visualize that space of clarity and spaciousness to hold space for the thoughts coming and going. Now landing your awareness back in the hands, noticing any movement of your breath, your heartbeat, or even your baby. And recognize this unconditional love that already exists between you both. Recognize the strength of this love, already present and growing, and stronger by the day. And this evening's class will be embracing courage and devotion, and letting go of fear and doubt. So often when we're heading into labour, we can think about the kind of birth that we don't want. Maybe we don't spend enough time thinking about or cultivating that fearless energy for the birth that we do want. So taking a moment to inhale courage and devotion, and exhale fear and doubt. As you breathe in, invite in the qualities of courage and devotion. And breathe out fear and doubt. Allow yourself to spend a few moments envisioning your positive birth experience, recognizing the courageous woman inside of you, this fearless side of you, fearlessness that exists within. And the strength of the love that exists between you and your baby as the source of that fearlessness, the source of the courage that is within you. Now slowly draw your hands away from your body so that the hands are hovering in front of the body. So you can notice that change of temperature under the palms of the hands. And really slowly, as if you're moving your hands through water, start to turn the palms to face up, drawing your hands to the side. And as you breathe in, invite in the courage and devotion, so drawing a circle throughout the arms. As you breathe out, push the hands down as if you're pushing kind of sludge or mud. There's a little resistance under the hands. Pushing away fear and doubt, letting it go. And slowly turning the palms to face up again. Feeling a lightness as you let that fear and doubt go, and inviting back in the courage and devotion. Taking a full breath in. And a slow breath out through the nose as you push away fear and doubt. Clearing the space for clarity, courage, and devotion. So we'll do this one more time, turning the palms to face up. Breathing in, inhale courage and devotion. And exhale fear and doubt. And then from here, we're going to make our way to all fours. So you can come down to all fours on your yoga mat. Into the cat-cow position. And take a moment to lift up through the right hand and kind of shake out the wrist a little bit. So you can bring the elbow to the side, giving the wrist a little shake out. And bring this hand to a hover just above the mat, really spreading out through your fingers so you feel the aliveness of your right hand. And then slowly plant down through all the fingertips, through the whole palm of the hand. So that right hand feels a little more alive and grounded. And lift up through the left hand and do that same little shake. Bringing the left hand to a hover just above the mat, spread out through your fingers, all hands awake. And as you ground down, see if you can find an even spread of the weight throughout both palms of the hands. And now starting to curve into the back body, allow the head to be heavy. Gently shake the head, yes and no. Take a moment in this position, find a slow, steady breath in through the nose. As you breathe in through the nose, and you feel a little rise of the back of the lungs and the back of the ribs. And then find a slow, steady ha sound through the mouth. On your next inhale, start to open the heart to face forward, your courageous heart. Find that space across the collarbone and the chest. If it feels a little tight, you could turn the fingertips to face out a little bit and just create more space across the chest. And as you breathe out, find a slow, steady breath out through the mouth so we can slow down that breath out and dome into the back body. We'll aim for this audible quality to the breath. It's going to be really calming for the mind. Breathe in, shine the heart forwards. And that slow, steady breath out through the mouth as you round into the back body. Breathing in. And this time breathe out through the nose with that same audible quality. So there's a slow restriction at the back of your throat to help regulate the breath in and the breath out. Breathing into your cow shape. Listen to the sound of your breath to ground you and breathe out to your cat shape. So this is the Ujjayi breath that some of you might be familiar with. It can be a really great breath to use during labour. It's combined with the blubber lips that you might like to use. When labour gets a little bit more wild and you might want to kind of shake it out, you can do the blubber lips. So on the next exhale, we're going to blubber the lips, soften the jaw and the face, breathe in, and then blubber lips out. And 3 more like that, breathe in. And out. Release the face and the jaw. So help release the pelvic floor when you're labouring as well. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now if the wrists are starting to get sore, spread out through your hands again and see if you can distribute some of the weight to the finger pads. Alternatively, you can create 2 fists so they go for a little bit longer. And the next one that embraces your courageous lioness, or you do the lion breath. So for the lion's breath, you stick out your tongue, open your mouth wide, open the jaw, and let out a bit of a raw sound. So it happens on the exhale. We take a slow breath in, and opening the mouth wide, and draw the tongue long. We'll take 2 more like this. Breathe in. And in your inner courageous lioness, breathe in. Perfect. And then feel that release out the jaw. And we'll start to find just a few little circles of a free flow of movement at the sides of the body. So I want to start to feel a little stretch down the side of the body, so you could start to create a bit of a C shape with the left side of the spine and the right side as you draw a circle of the whole torso. And as you're doing this, I invite you to close your eyes so you can really feel into the movements of the body. Get a sense of that intuitive movement, which is a really nice thing to cultivate as you're heading in towards labour. So that these movements become this familiar language that you've got, a little toolkit that you can use throughout your labour, your go-to movements to help you move with the baby on its journey out. And I've spent quite a bit of my labour in this position, doing movements, finding it really, really helpful. So it's a nice one to practice. And now inviting that Ujjayi breath, the ocean sounding breath, into these movements and switching directions whenever it feels intuitive to do so. So can you find that place of moving with your body in the lake? So a movement that feels really nourishing, welcome and playful. You're moving to the sound of your breath, that ocean sounding Ujjayi breath. And you're drawing your awareness to your hips, and that isolated movement in the hips. And as you're rotating the hips, start by doing really small circles throughout the hips. So we're just isolating the pelvis and finding that small circular movement around the hips. Right, so visualize the head of the pelvis rolling around to the head of the inner thigh bones. You feel that subtle movement around the pelvis. As you're doing this, can you relax your face and your jaw? Soften through the eyes, mouth, and switch directions whenever it feels intuitive to do so. You might want to do 3 in one direction and 3 in the other if you like to keep a bit of order to your movements, or free flow and switch whenever it feels natural to you. And from here, spiraling the pelvis outwards, we're spiraling from small circles to large circles. If your bones getting a little larger, you might like to take the knees wider apart to accommodate your room. And move in a way that feels really nourishing and welcome for the hips. So as you're spiraling out to the larger circles, you find a size and shape and movement that feels just right for your body today. And doing this with the breath, coming back to the breath, in through the nose. And out through the nose. Switching directions. Moving with the breath. And for the next 2 breaths, we're going to do the lower lips on the exhale, breathing in. And the lower lips out. Now, going up to center. Sit back on the heels for a moment so you can tuck the toes under and we'll release out the wrists before moving towards standing. So you can clench out through the fists and then draw just a few circles throughout the wrists. So here in 3 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. And switch, just do 3 more on each side. And from here, stretch out through the hands, kind of sprinkle pause through the fingers, and interlace your fingers, creating a wave-like movement through the hands. And then waving in the other direction. And then making your way to a standing position. So today we'll be doing quite a few warrior-like poses, and if you like TED Talks, there's a really great TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. It's called Your Body Speaks Your Mind, I think it's called something like that. And she talks about the power poses, and I find it really quite relevant to pregnancy and embodying that sense of courage that it brings. And these warrior shapes really do give you that kind of feeling of fearlessness. I like them quite a lot for this. So for warrior 1, I'm going to move into warrior 1 for a little flow of the Ujjayi breath. You can bring the feet to face hip distance apart, step the right leg back. Take a little bend into the knee. Drawing the hands to heart center, take a deep bend into the front knee and really spread out through your toes under your feet. Put that strong grounding into the mat. Inhale to reach up through the fingertips. As you exhale, sweep the fingertips back and start to draw that left thigh back, reaching the heart forwards and fingertips back. Inhale through the nose, sweep forwards and up. And exhale back. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, 2 more like this. Move to the sound of your breath and let your breath ground you in these shapes. Now taking a deep bend into the front knee, reach up through the hands and find that strength at the lower body. Turn the palms to face up, let your shoulders start to soften on the back of the knee. Feel a fire in your legs. And turn your gaze up towards the ceiling, for that power of the pose. So as we're in this shape, I'm just going to sprinkle a little affirmation in our mantra. And it's going to be a really nice thing to use throughout your yoga practice and also throughout the labour. So as you're in this shape, saying to yourself, my body is strong, my mind is calm. And these affirmations or mantras can be a really great way to still the busyness of the thoughts and bring you back to that space of strength and calm. My body is strong, my mind is calm. Bring the hands to heart center. Face forwards and step lightly forwards. So reach around through the feet, bend down through the right foot, step your left foot back. Into warrior 1 on this side. Starting with our flow, that rhythmic movement of the breath. Breathe in, reach up. As you steadily breathe out through the nose, sweep the fingertips back, heart comes forwards. Inhale, rise. And exhale back. As you breathe in, feel into the open, courageous heart. Breathe out, letting go of fear and doubt. Inhale. Exhale. Final one. And going to land back in your warrior one. Find an even grounding through the feet. Feel that fire and strength in the legs. A strong foundation. Recognize your inner strength. Feeling into the open heart, shining towards the ceiling. Coming back to your affirmation. My body is strong. My mind is calm. My body is strong. My mind is calm. And the hands to heart center and step forwards. So we'll take a few rounds of the pregnancy sun salutes, that pregnancy modified version. At any point throughout, if you're feeling a little tired, feel free to come to the cat-cow movements that we did at the beginning, so just listening to your energy today and taking it at your own pace. So we'll start at the top of the mat in Tadasana with the hands together. And in that place of grounding to begin, the feet on the ground, feel into the whole soles of the feet. And then taking a moment to check in with the size and shape of your bump. A little connection to your baby before we do our movements. And then from this little check-in, maybe stepping the feet a little wider just to accommodate that. And be mindful of your bump as we take our flow. So you're moving with the baby and that harmonious flow. Breathe in to reach out. And as you breathe out, fold forward, taking a little bend to the knees, mindfully lowering. And step the right knee back. So we're coming to a low lunge. Round into the left there. And inhale, reach out. And back to that strong, courageous position as you reach up through the fingertips. And body is strong, and mind is calm. And lowering your hands. Step the left knee back. Breathe into cow. And breathe out cat. Steady breath in, open the heart to cow pose. And breathe out cat pose. Inhale, cow. And as long as you exhale, tuck your toes and raise your hips into downward facing. Take a slow breath through the nose. And a slow sigh through your mouth. And step the right foot forward, stepping the foot wide, mindful of your bump. And coming onto the fingertips, gaze forwards, and step that left foot forwards. And bring the forearms to the thighs. A little breather. Root down through the feet. Inhale, circle your arms, reach out. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment to reconnect before our second round, placing the left hand on the heart, right hand on your belly. Reconnect with the rhythm of your breath. And come back to inviting in the courage and devotion. Letting go of fear and doubt. Breathe in, open the arms, reach out. As you breathe out slowly and mindfully, fold forwards. And that spaciousness for your bumps. Time to step your left leg back and lower your back knee. Rooting the right foot down, inhale, reach out. And your gaze to the ceiling, bend that softening in the shoulders. Body is strong, and mind is calm. As you breathe out, lowering the hands, step your right knee back. Inhale to cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Breathe in cow. And breathe out cat. Taking 2 hands of the blood lips, breathe into cow. And blood lips out. Stop with the lips and the jaw. Nice lip lips, it's easier to find that blubber. Breathe in. And blubber release. Inhale to your cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your toes and raise your hips to down. And even spread throughout the hands and the feet. So really spread out your fingers and spread out through your toes. Free to take the feet a little wider if that feels next to a baby. You can keep a little bend into the knees to find that just right space in the toes. And we'll do a lion's breath out. Take a slow breath in. And lion breath out. Step your left foot wide forwards. And onto the fingertips and step the right foot wide forwards. Little bend into the knees, forearms to thighs. Taking a moment to steady the gaze. And inhale, reach up, open. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment to check back in, left hand to heart and right hand to belly. Now as we stay in standing for a moment, take a bend to the knees and really press into the soles of the feet so you can really feel into the whole sole of the foot as if you were doing a footprint in the sand. Feeling that kind of sinking, grounding throughout the whole sole of the foot. That sense of support throughout your foundation. Tap into that strength of your legs. You attempt to hug in the muscles of your legs to the bones, feeling that strength and support. Now soften them back out through the muscles of your face. Can you soften the face muscles? Keep recognizing that quality of strength throughout the legs. My body is strong. My mind is calm. Noticing any subtle discomfort that starts to arise initially. Can you stay with that discomfort? Recognizing your own strength and patience. And your awareness to rest in the hands. Feel the movement of your breath. Can you soften throughout the chest and the belly? Feeling the body move into the hands. As you breathe in and breathe out. And finding just a gentle spring through the feet, really press through the feet. And as you inhale, straighten the legs and reach open and up. And as you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. And move with the breath, just doing these simple movements twice more. Breathe in and that reaching up, straighten the legs. And breathe out, finding a little sink into the legs, finding that strength in your footprint in the sand. Inhale, open, reach up. And exhale. Final one. Now placing your hands on your hips and coming into a free flow of movement of the hips, dance-like movement, baby and bump, watery movements that are really nourishing for your hips during pregnancy. So much more fluid in your body, nice to move in these ways. So we'll start by just drawing circles throughout the hips. And from a circular movement, have a little play at drawing a figure of 8 with the hips. And seeing if you can switch directions in that figure of 8. Coming back to center, find a rooting down through the left foot. As you lift up through the right, draw circles about your right leg. Tapping into your balance. The balance pose is going to be really good for confidence and clarity and that sense of focus. And then drawing the circles back inwards. And that balance of strength and flexibility throughout the hip. And now as you step this foot back, we're just going to step it behind the left foot so that you can create a C shape with this right side of the body. So really pressing through the ball of the right foot, ground down through the whole left foot, and start to lift up through the left side. It's a nice side stretch. And through the right side of the kiss view, mirroring. Really ground into both feet. And start to direct your breath to the sides of the rib cage. So in pregnancy, we can start to feel a little restricted with the breath around this area. It can be really nice to stretch those intercostal muscles in between the ribs and create a little more space for your breath to move into. So stay in here, feeling into the stretch and find that slow breath in and out through the nose, the Ujjayi breath. Ocean sounding breath. As you're breathing in and out through the nose, can you visualize these muscles, these intercostal muscles, beginning to relax and be receptive to the breath? Feel into that strength that you're cultivating in your legs, recognizing your strength. And coming back to center. Using it out for the second side, just doing a few little hip circles, moving a size and shape that feels harmonious for your body, that feels just right at this moment. As you come back to center, find that rooting through the right foot, spread the toes, so you've got real grounding, your footprint in the sand, and then drawing your circles with the left hip. If you've got this feeling that you want to move quite fast through the circles, see what it feels like to move at half the speed. Maybe you'll cultivate a little more strength. It feels a little different. Just recognizing that, exploring how your body's moving. And switching directions. See if it feels any stronger to move slower. It creates a different challenge. And now stepping this foot behind your standing leg to encourage that C-shaped curve. Let's reach up through the left hand and we'll just take a hold of the wrist with the index finger and thumb. See if you can root evenly through both feet. And then taking that breath in, feel that expansion of the ribs. Breathing into the sides of the lungs. And slow breath out through the nose. Find a degree of side stretch that feels just right, so there's no strain into the pose. And move in with the breath. So invite that sense of relaxation to the side of the body. Tapping into that full quality of the breath. Rooting through the feet, breathe in to rise back up. And breathe out, hands to heart center. Take can find a little hip circle, a few rotations on each side. And we'll be moving into goddess pose. I always feel like goddess poses are relevant for pregnancy. All goddesses at the moment. So we're going to draw the feet wide, taking the feet turning out to the side, and then take a bend into the knees. So you've got a real strong foundation in the lower body. So you can place your hands to your thighs and then kind of press down on the thighs to have a play into that movement throughout the lower body. If you're feeling a little tender around the hips, and the hips have been feeling a little loose recently, I know in pregnancy mine start to do that a little bit, then bring the hips, bring the feet a little closer towards one another so you're not in quite as wide a stance. And you can also not bend as low if your hips are feeling a little delicate today. Really press down through your feet and then hug from the feet to the hips. So you've got this real strength cultivating in the lower body. And you're courageous, strong inner goddess. Now when I cross the arms, and as you breathe in, circle the arms, straighten the legs, reach up. And as you breathe out, face your palms forwards and take that bend into the knees. Pressing the arms the opposite way, breathe in. And breathe out to lower. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now tap back into your courageous lioness. Breathe in. And lion's breath out. Breathe in. And out. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back to center. So I really recommend practicing your lion's breaths because it's a great way to free up those inhibitions, and you might want to use it in labour when you're embracing all of these wild sounds that you will make. So it can be really good to just free up this area and make you feel confident with those more unusual sounds that we can be expressing in that very powerful point in your life. So we're moving from goddess pose now into warrior two pose, and back into those power shapes, bring in your courage and courageous self. So you can turn the left toes out, checking that the knee is just facing over the second to big toe. And then have a little check in with the feet, and you want the front heel to be about in line with the back middle arch of the foot. And let out stretch your arms into your warrior two. Take a moment to embrace the static, strong position. Really rooting through the feet. And inviting a little softening throughout the shoulders. You can find a wave-like movement through the arms, so often the neck and the shoulders tense up in this shape. See if you can just loosen that up with a rippling wave effect through the arms. And you can turn the palms to face up. And then back down, freeing that up a little. And after a little movement through the arms, zip the fingertips together and turn your gaze over your middle finger. And that strength and stillness. In that space of stability into your practice. My body is strong. My mind is calm. You trust in this affirmation. My body is strong. My mind is calm. Recognize the power of these words, the words that we tell ourselves. Inviting these courageous, fearless words into your body, into your thoughts and your actions. The strength in the arms starts to awaken. My body is strong. My mind is calm. Now breathe in, reach the arms to face up, straighten the front leg. Feel any change in sensation through your hands and arms. And draw your hands to heart center, breathe out. We'll turn those left toes in, right toes out, just a little foot pivot. Take a deep bend into the front knee. And then out stretching the arms again. And finding that ripple, wave-like movement through the arms. And this time, find a little stretch throughout the side of the neck. So drawing the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Feel that sensation move all the way down through the arm to the fingertips. Find a degree that's just right, so it's not too much and not too little for the neck. And then turning the head in the opposite direction. And then your gaze over your middle finger, cultivating your strength through your entire body. And finding that sense of ease as you focus on the breath. We use that ocean sounding breath to give you that space of clarity and calm and constant. And into an even quality to the in-breath and out-breath. Inhale, courage and devotion. Exhale, fear and doubt. My body is strong, my mind is calm. You tap into that focus. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So as we're heading down towards the mat, bring your feet to hip distance. And we'll do one sun salute heading down to the mat. Breathe in to reach up. And exhale, fold forwards. Step in the right knee back and the left knee back. Inhale to cow. And exhale, cat. And this time from your cat shape, we'll do a spinal roll. So I'm just going to shimmy around a bit so you can see this. So the spinal roll, as you draw into the cat shape, allow your hips to move down towards your heels. And that slow movement down of the hips to the heels. Making sure the knees are wide enough to accommodate your bump. And then lowering your forearms down. As you next breathe in, sweep your heart forwards. And when you can't move the heart forwards anymore without lifting the elbows, start to press into the hands, slowly lift the elbows and lift the heart. Now the inhale to turn into your exhale as you dome the spine, slowly lower the hips down to the heels. And your hips lower, forearms lower. Breathe in, sweeping forwards and through. And exhale, doming back out. And back to the rhythmic Ujjayi breath as you move to the sound of your breath. And that clarity and calm in the breath. So we'll stick with this simple movement for a little longer, and if this is not working for you, if it just doesn't feel right for your pregnant body, then feel free to take those circular movements. If you feel drawn towards doing this feels more intuitive, or taking the regular cat-cow movements. So any of those three that your body feels like it intuitively wants to move to. And once you've found your transition, your movement that feels just right, and you focus back on moving to the sound of the breath. So embracing that simplicity and allowing your body and mind to be really comfortable and familiar with these movements. Really making friends with these movements so you can use them at any point in your pregnancy and your labour. It's a little toolkit. And either sticking with moving to the sound of your breath, or if the mantra works for you, can you practice inviting that mantra in? That might be the inhale, courage and devotion. Exhale, fear and doubt. Maybe my body is strong, my mind is calm. Choose the one that works for you. Gradually making your way up towards a kneeling position. When I turn out the toes, so you can spread out through your toes, kind of peeling each toe up off the ground and pressing the toes down so you've got that spaciousness in between each toe. I'm just going to sit on the knees for a moment. You might feel a little discomfort throughout the feet, hopefully not too much. And now creating a release from the shoulders after all of that arm work we did. You bring your hands to your shoulders and then really slowly and mindfully draw circles with the elbows so you can feel that sense of fluidity throughout the shoulder joint. And then drawing these circles in the other direction. These movements can be really nice to do postnatally if and when you start breastfeeding. The upper body, I noticed when I had my baby that my upper body got really tense from all the breastfeeding. So these ones can be quite nice to loosen that up. And if you haven't got a foam roller, I recommend like this really soft ones, not those crazy like hardcore gym ones, but there's some really nice soft ones out there. And they're also really nice postnatally to roll out the upper back for any tightness from breastfeeding. That was my absolute saviour. And if you're doing that, don't do it too early on. I tried it a couple of days after giving birth, and that's a bit tender, so definitely be kind on yourself this first few weeks. You don't need to do anything but sleep, eat, and feed your baby. So then releasing your arms down to the ground, and we're going to release the shoulders in another way, a little shoulder shrug, so you can lift your shoulders up towards the ears. Take a slow breath in through the nose. And a big sigh, let the arms drop. Breathe in. And drop, sigh. Inhale. Exhale. When down to seated, when crossing out through the legs. And placing the hands on the knees, allow your chin to gently drop down towards your chest. And slowly roll your chin up towards your left shoulder. And that nice release throughout the neck. As you exhale, rolling the chin back down and up towards the right shoulder. So we're drawing a smile-like shape with your head to release out the tension out through the neck and shoulders. And depending on whether you're working at a desk quite a lot at the moment or you've got the anxiety going on, this can happen throughout the shoulders. It can get really tense for many reasons. We hold a lot of tension up across the neck and the shoulders. And I really recommend doing this in the evening, just in the evening and the morning. It can be a really nice little release. And just doing this movement alone can invite that sense of calm into the body and the mind. Practicing this whilst simultaneously practicing relaxing the muscles of your face. So take a moment to practice softening the muscles of the face consciously as you draw these movements with the head and the neck. So can you close the eyes and really soften the eyes, the brow, the cheeks and the jaw. And notice the effects on your mind in doing this. Often we kind of carry the busy thoughts around on our face expressions. And it can work in reverse, just like Amy Cuddy says in the TED talk, that you change your body language, it can affect your minds by simply softening the muscles of the face. It can help soften that gripping of the thoughts and that busyness. And coming back to centre, just observing how that feels for a few moments, allowing the left hand to rest on the heart, the right hand back on the belly. Allow the shoulders to drop and the elbows to drop. And then keeping the eyes closed, trace your awareness from the tailbone all the way up the length of the spine to the crown of your head. And you visualize a rooting down through the pelvis and a light lift up through the crown of the head. You invite the face to soften and land your awareness back in the hands. In that sense of warmth, nurture and touch through the palms. Allow yourself to reconnect with your baby. It's growing life inside you. Releasing through your hands. And then coming down to all fours. This position is all fours with the knees out to the side, and it's known as the UFO position. That's why they're called in my pregnancy yoga teacher training. It's an up, forwards and over position to help you access the pelvic floor muscles. So bring the knees wide and then bring the upper body forwards and over. And we're going to just have a little explore at the degree forwards that we bring the hands and back to explore the three areas of the pelvic floor. The urethra, the vagina and the anus. There's the front passage, middle passage and back passage. And just having a little play and finding these three areas of the pelvic floor. So as you bring the hands further forwards, have a little explore at which one of those three areas you can feel more with the hands further forwards. You close the eyes and then start to draw in and up through the front passage, middle and back passage. And for me, with the hands further forwards, I can feel more the front and the middle. And maybe it's different for you. Which ones can you feel more of? Can you have an explore of that? Playful curiosity, so just getting familiar with the pelvic floor. Drawing in and up, front, middle, back. Imagine that sling of muscles of the pelvic floor. And then slowly release throughout the pelvic floor. Can you consciously soften those muscles, just like you softened your face muscles? Soften the front, the middle, and the back. You don't need to worry at this point about matching the breath with the movement, and allow the breath to be natural as it is. Just have a play with drawing in and up through the front, middle, and back. And then slowly, consciously softening the front, middle, and back. So I'll keep with that drawing in and up and the softening of the muscles, but change the position of your hands. So step your hands one step closer towards you, turning the gaze down to the ground, and then we'll play again with that contraction of the front, middle and back, and just seeing if if it changes, which area of the pelvic floor you can feel the most. Drawing in and up. And slowly releasing. And this time we'll try and draw it in and up a little faster, so there's that kind of sharp contraction of in and up. Draw it in and up, lifting up through the front, middle and back. And this time can you hold that contraction for 1, 2, maybe 3 counts. And then slowly release. So as we do this, see if you can keep the belly soft. Have a little softening of the belly, isolating the pelvic floor muscles. Drawing in and up, sharper contraction from middle back. Feel that lift. Holding for 1, 2, maybe 3. Find a count that you can comfortably hold that contraction for. And softening from middle and back. So feel free to stay here. If you felt you could tap into the pelvic floor muscles easier with bringing the hands further forwards, feel free to do that. Or you might even like to bring the hands closer towards you and come onto the fingertips and have a little explore at what you can feel in this position. So coming onto the fingertips, drawing in and up, front passage, middle, and the back passage. Sharp contraction, hold in, 1, 2, 3. Can you slow down the release of the muscles, softening the muscles to the count of 3. You soften the front, middle and back. 1, 2, 3. Sharp contraction, hold. 1, 2, 3. And slow down the release to the count of 3. Maybe even 4. Feel that element of control as you soften. So now I invite you to close the eyes as you do this and see if you can soften the muscles of the face. Notice if that helps you slow down and soften the pelvic floor. Choose any of those hand positions. Have a feel into the one that helped you the most. Feel the pelvic floor muscles. And then find that sharp contraction, front, middle, back, in and up. Soften the face, soften the pelvic floor. 1, 2, 3. We'll do 2 more like this, in and up. Softening the face and the pelvic floor and the jaw. 1, 2, 3. In and up, sharp contraction, front, middle, back. Hold. Notice in what count you get to. The element of play. And soften, release. And then easing your way back up. We'll come into our seat. So before we move on to the more relaxing poses, we're going to do a little bit more sound work that we explored last week or the week before. So the sound work, I really do just think it's an amazing thing to practice, and it might be hard to practice on your own if you're not used to it. When I first started yoga, the omming I used to hate a lot because I didn't get it, and it was really uncomfortable for me. And I think sometimes it's we can learn a lot from the things that we have that initial resistance from. And there's often a bit of a lesson in that. So if you're like me, when I start umming, there might be something that you can learn from these sounds and see if you can have that kind of willingness and curiosity to explore these sounds as sounds. It can be really liberating for your voice, for that sense of inhibition, releasing inhibitions in labour, and also creates a nice little sonic massage for your baby. Sometimes when we do the sound work, your baby might start to move a little bit and respond to that vibration, so that can be a nice touch too. So as we do the sound work, we'll place the hands on the body so you can have that further sense of connection to yourself and your baby. Closing the eyes and finding that grounding throughout the lower body. Can you let the legs kind of drop and surrender into the seat? And let the elbows drop, let the elbows be heavy and the shoulders soften. Reinvite that sense of relaxation to the face, the eyes and the jaw. And we're going to do 3 sounds of each sound of the arm. So breaking down the arm into the 3 sounds, the ah, the oo, the We'll do 3 rounds of each. So after our breath in, we'll do that ah sound together. Breathing in through the nose. Second round, inhale. Third round, slow, steady, ujjayi breath in. Breathing in for the oo. Final round, breathe in. For the sound, we're going to bring the tongue up to the roof of the mouth. Keep the lips slightly open, and as if you're making an G sound. Like imagine making that sound in the mouth, and it helps you elongate the sound. So it really helps lengthen the exhale. So we'll take a slow, steady breath in. Final 2. Take a moment to keep the eyes closed. Recognize any change in how you feel. Any change in movement throughout the body. Baby. And releasing your hands. I'm going to come down to lie on your left side to find a little bit of rotation in the right ankle. So we will lie on both sides, but we won't be on the side for long. So come on the left side to begin. Place your hands just to support your head. And we'll reach that right leg up towards the ceiling. Bringing the hands behind the thigh. And a few circles throughout the right ankle. Take 3 rotations in one direction. And 3 in the other direction. And switching. 3 more on each side. Reach your leg up towards the ceiling and just gently draw your leg towards you. Feel that stretch on the inner thigh, maybe the hamstrings. You're going to bend into the knee and draw 2 mindful circles throughout that right hip. And this leg to drop down towards the ground. Easing your way back up. Really grounding through both hands as you ease up and over to the right side. So just come down to support the right side of the head. Supporting the right thigh as you reach up to the left thigh as you reach the left leg. And taking 3 rotations on the ankle. Switching. And 3 more on each side. And so reach up through the sole of the foot and gently draw your left leg towards you, feeling into that stretch and release. Quite a lot of strength working the legs, so nice to stretch it out after. Taking that bend into the knee and drawing a few mindful circles through that left hip. And send your way back to center. All the way up. And then taking your feet into a diamond shape. You're going to bring the feet face forwards. Tiptoe your fingertips forwards until you feel a little sensation on the outer hip. So you can kind of lift your bit to the side a little bit, and sometimes it helps you find a slightly more of a hinge forwards, and it may help you get into that sensation in the outer hip. Depending on where you're feeling tight, you might also feel a little sensation on the inner thighs. Now slowly start to walk the fingertips forwards, making sure that you're still accommodating all that space for your bump, as much space as your baby and bump needs. Now closing the eyes and allowing this final pose to be passive. As you breathe in, invite a quality of courage and devotion into the entire body. Bring your awareness to the surface of the skin. Imagine the breath moving out into the lungs and out to the surface of the skin. Embodying your courage and devotion. As you exhale, feel the body surrender into the pose and let go of fear and doubt. Inhale, embodying courage and devotion. Feel out to the surface of the skin. Feel the fullness of the breath in. Letting go, surrendering, letting go of fear and doubt. Staying there for a few moments as you feel the qualities of the breath, be present with your experience. And easing your way back up. You're going to come to lie down on the left side, and I recommend grabbing yourself a cushion, maybe a blanket, to lie down on, so you've got a nice bit of cushioning for the hips as you're lying on the left side. Your cushion, you can slide this in between your thighs. Maybe some of you are sleeping like this at the moment. I know I had to do that later in my pregnancy. Put a cushion between my thighs at night time. And then lying down, if you feel the hips are a bit bony, lying down on your blanket. And you might like to use the upper arm as a little pillow, so you can just rest your head on the upper arm. Allow your top hand to either rest on the hip, or if it feels more comfortable, resting it down in front of you on the forearm. find that space where you can completely surrender and let the body be heavy. Once you've found that space, close your eyes and re-invite that sense of relaxation back to the surface of the face and the jaw. And you allow yourself to completely rest in the shape. Allow the body to rest and absorb and digest all of the benefits from your yoga practice this evening. This time that you carved out for yourself and your baby. You made this time to nourish yourself and this growing life inside you. You thank yourself for doing that. And taking a moment to envision your positive birth experience. Envision how you would like your birth to be. In its courageous form, whatever that takes. Maybe courageously running with the unknown and embracing it. Knowing it's all worth it for this unconditional love that you will hold and meet in your arms at the end of that journey. And you recognize the strength of that love that already exists. The source of your courage. And slowly wiggling the fingers and the toes. And very easily making your way back up to seated. Taking no rush to get there. Moving kindly and gently. And we'll bring your hands to heart center to close your practice. Taking a moment to close the eyes, feel that contact of the palms, feel that grounding quality and stillness that you've cultivated, the space of calm. Thank yourself for making this time and thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.